Alright, we're going to try up front, or I'm going to show you how to play the first scenario, at least with the most basic rules, what the rulebook teaches you, just the basic rules to play, and I'm just going to show you the game flow. So we have here already set up, the Germans have set up two groups, pretty standard, one more stronger movement group, or maybe not that strong. They have two little weaker guys with the morale. Maybe we will change those up. We put those like that. Doesn't matter as much, we will just choose. So we have one group, they start at range 0, of course. That is the relative range, how much they have moved progress forward. And group B. And we did the setup here, so we have the fire group at the range of 1. They will have a 9 firepower, and we have the assistant squad leader as helping with the ammunition for this one. Americans have a little more maybe wonky setup. We have this group over here is the fire group with the bar gun, and I guess they have 7 firepower at range 1, so maybe not the best. And here we have their main way to win the game is to get these 4 guys to range 4, because that's how you win the scenario. You get you need to have 4 guys at range 4 and in cover. That reduces the firepower of the incoming attacks, so they will strongly advance with these ones and maybe try to block the Germans with this one. We will see how that works. The first thing is German set up first, so they will have set up like this, and then the American or Russian or whoever is meeting them sets up after, and they decide to do this. The next thing you do is to check your hand. Germans have 5 cards, and they have no terrain cards, so they cannot place their initial terrain. Americans, we can check, they have some 2 walls. Maybe it can be good to get a wall up, so they choose to play a wall, and then they choose to play a wall, meaning they will not necessarily use those in the first couple of turns, so or advance very quickly, because yeah. What you do is German starts with choosing to place terrain, and then American can choose 1, and then German, and then American you choose not to play any more initial setup. So Germans are in open ground. Group A, American is open ground, and group B and C, American, are behind the wall. So first turn starts. Germans doesn't have that good of a hand. They have a weak firepower that they can use. So maybe they, because what they can do on their turn, they can play 1 card on each group. That's why you might want to have more groups, so you can cycle your hand quicker. But Germans have their abilities also that they can throw 1 card away. So they will definitely throw 1 card away. They will throw this one, but they will also not need to, but it can be good to play a card. So we will play this card. You check, you need to have 3 firepower to fire with, use this card. And you check at the range of 0, because we have 0 and all other groups are 0, so you add those 2 together. So for example, if this would be 0 and this would be 2, that is a 2 in range. The relative range decreased between the 2 teams. 5 is the closest, that is like point blank, and I don't know how much each range is supposed to be. Maybe 0 range is maybe like 400 meters, and 1 range is maybe 300 meters, and so on. But you need to have 3 in firepower, and you have these guys here. You are at range 0, so 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Aha, here. He have 4 or in bracket 2. 2 is if he is manning the gun by himself, but luckily we have put the crew token here, so this guy forfeits all his firepower because he is helping him firing with giving him ammunition stuff. So we look at the non-bracket number, which is 4, which is at least which is higher than this one. So we could have played maybe 2 fire cards that have 2 each, so the total number here must be within the firepower of the group. So this fire is okay. It gives us a fire strength of 1. We play it towards the easiest group, maybe over there. You can fire on the group opposing you and every group adjacent to you without any penalty. If it's another group even further away, then you get -1 in your firepower. So the range is increased. So, but this one is 0, 0, 0 because they are not that far from each other. So we will try to fire at these groups, at this group A, and the strength is 1 plus what we drew here. 1, and then you check on the random number check, which ups here. So we have 1, and it's a red number, which is -4, so we are at -3. So I guess they don't even have to check because you're going to beat their morale. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm confusing with another game. Now we start with checking the attack against each. We have sent away a fire action against this group, and now we will see the impact. So the first impact was -4 on a 1, so that is -3 in total, and that is less than these guys' morale or kill in action number. You have morale 1 or kill in action 8, so he is fine. We take a new card. 1 plus 0 is at least his morale, so he breaks. And 1 plus 5 is 6, which has at least his morale. So he breaks. Pretty lucky. So they play the fire order. You can put it there. What will the other group do? They cannot do anything, so we will just toss this away because that is the Germans' special ability, that they can play cards and still toss 1 away. So we will draw up to. We will try not to check these cards. The Americans, what will they do? They can either throw away 2 cards, or they can play cards. So they now decide to do, can they do something good with this? They have a rally 1. Rally plus 1. I have, no, yeah. Yeah, okay, the plus 1 is for the move. So they can rally 1 guy. And here we can see both Russian, American and Germans can use this. But with this move, only Russian can use this move card. So we need to check for that as well. We could not play the wall here because they are now in open terrain, and they cannot just find a wall all of a sudden in the open terrain. They need to start moving first, but they cannot move because they have 2 pinned guys. So we will probably try to rally 1, and I guess we can get to decide who to rally. We will rally the assistant squad. Now, you know what? I think we need to try to get better cards. We will throw away 2 cards. Those 2 goes away. I'm sorry guys, I'm not using the phone screen to check where I'm doing, so maybe if I'm going off camera, I will try now to use only look at through the screen. So now we're coming back to the Germans, and the Germans have movement cards. Okay, movement conceal is to reduce the firepower. Sorry, we forgot to check that for the other guys. We will have this fire card is maybe not that good because it's pretty high, but they have good rally cards. So we will maybe try to start walking. We play a movement card on group A, so this advances to 1, so now they are at range 1 with those guys and those guys, but group A and group C are still at range 0 because you take the number you have between those two and subtract by 1 because distance in lateral. So now they are out walking, which means they are easier to hit. The fire range against them will get +1. So they will do that. Group B cannot do anything specific. So what we will do, we will just throw this fire card away. And 5. This game is meant to be played very quickly because to capture the snapshots decisions of the combat, because for example a game takes approximately 90 minutes but simulates maybe just like 15-20 minutes of real actual combat when people are advancing very quickly to each other. I mean, I said they are probably like 400 meters away from each other. You can imagine that doesn't take that long to advance and fire and move and fire. So just to keep the game flow up, we need to have like a quick snap decisions. But of course, if it's your first time, you will need to just figure out some stuff, because some stuff you just need to remember some oddities with the cards and stuff like that. But now it's the Americans' turn, and then they have quite good cards. They have this they cannot use, a rally 1. They have a fire of 2. He can fire on 2. But wait, 1. They are at range 1 to this squad, so they have now 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 3 is 7 firepower. So they can actually fire. They can fire quite good. They will probably fire like that, and these guys will try to will rally. So we start with that, and then they will not be able to do anything else. So we do like that. So first we do the rally, and you just check rally 1, we rally this one. Is most important. Like that, and now we fire. So they had at least that firepower, which means they can fire off. So we have a fire strength of 3 plus 1 because they are moving, so they are an easier target. So we are at 4. You can do like that. So now we ask the Germans, do you want to play conceal? Of course. We can. This conceal they cannot play because it's only for Russians. So this is a cower card, which means just a dud in your hand. But for the Russians, it's not. It's a conceal. So this we can throw away later. But they will play this one. So 3 plus 1 is 4 minus 2 is 2. So we have a 2 in total when the attack comes in, and we need to check the attack against each guy. So we have a 3, 3, 5, and 5 in morale. So 2 plus 0 is 2. He's okay. 2 minus 6 is minus 4. And when this happens, we need to check for a weapon to malfunction here, because minus 6 is the lowest you can get, and that is like a jam. plus. It's not. He was fine for that. So now we check the random position guy, who we don't know. These are 5 guys. He's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what we just do is we turn over this card. We check the 5, and it's the first guy. Him. His weapon will malfunction. So we take a token. Semi-auto rifle. Malfunction. And now you should, this rule I never really remember in my head, but his firepower, he contributed a certain amount of firepower, so you should subtract that from the total amount that coming in on the last 2 guys. It's 1, maybe we subtract 1, I don't really know. We will see what the rolls or what the draws turns out to be. But for example, if it would have this one, he contributes a significant amount of firepower, so then you maybe half the fire strength of the rest of the attack, because he cannot contribute for the rest of the attack. But I don't really remember that in my head. But we are still -1 because we had a 2, -3 is -1, so he is fine. We have a 2, -0 or +0, -0 for the last one, so it's fine. So this attack was not successful. And in this scenario, you also remove all the building, well, the first 5 building cards, because this is a wooden. This scenario is happening in the woods. They rallied, they fired, unsuccessful. They cannot play anything on him, so along this group, so they are done. They draw up to their hand size. And we can now pause the video and then continue with the Germans.